welcome back. Today we are going to talk about an underutilized feature of iPads and iPhones. This is the tool called Guided Access, and it is a built-in feature in iOS and iPadOS. What this feature does is allows you to lock a user into a specific app so that if you hand over your phone or your iPad to a student or another user, they are not going to be able to go out of that app into other things on your device. Also, you can use this feature to do things like set time limits for how long somebody can use your device, or even set areas of the screen where an individual can't touch them. So this means if you want to be able to use your iPad or your iPhone to show a video, for example, but you don't want somebody to leave that video, if you turn off the touch screen, that individual will not be able to use the touch screen to exit that app. So this is a super powerful feature, and we're going to go ahead and walk through how to set that up and use it in this video. So let's get started. We are going to spend some time talking about guided access. Let's first look at how we get there to set it up. In order to use guided access, you are going to go to the settings icon on your tablet. Then you are going to, on the left-hand side, go down to where it says accessibility. Once you are in accessibility, you are going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. And in this bottom section that says general, you are going to tap on guided access. At the top, you will notice that there is a toggle on and off. So you can see mine is currently on. I can turn that off by simply tapping on it. And to turn it back on, I'm just going to toggle it again. Once you have guided access on, you have a few more options. You can go into passcode settings, and here you can choose to either let your tablet leave guided access with facial ID or not. And also you can set up a guided access passcode. I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. For the purposes of this video, we're going to make it pretty simple. We're just going to go with some zeros. I wouldn't recommend going that simple, but for right now, for this video, it makes sense. I'm going to go back to the main guided access menu. And here we have a couple of other things. So in time limits, I can set a time limit alarm so I can pick a sound to go off when there's a time limit. I can also choose to have it speak the amount of time left to let someone know when that time is ending. I'm going to leave those off for now. I'm going to go back again. Here we can also choose to turn on an accessibility setting. You're going to toggle that on. And what that does is allows you that when you triple click the top button, when you're in guided access, you're going to have access to the accessibility shortcuts. This is so that even if it is in guided access, other people can still access the accessibility features. And the last option here is displaying the auto lock. This is going to change how long your iPad or iPhone is on before it locks. So if it's on default, it's going to go with whatever your device already has on it. But you can choose that when it is in guided access, it's going to lock after anywhere from 30 seconds to never. So depending on what you use this for, there can be different settings here. For example, if you are using an iPad as a communication app, you may want to have it set in guided access, so it's only being used for communication. And you may want the auto lock to not happen ever because you don't want the individual or student to lose access to their communication. So in that case, you might want to go with never. In this case, I am going to just stay with the default, which means that it will automatically lock just based on my normal auto lock settings. Now that I have these things set up, I am going to leave the settings menu and I am going to pick an app to go into. In this case, I'm just going to go into ChoiceWorks, which is an app that has different scheduling features, and that will be in a different video. So now that we have guided access set up, I'm going to pick an app. In this case, I'm just picking a drawing app. Once I'm in the app that I want to use guided access with, I am going to either use the home button if I have an iPad or a phone that does not have a home button. If I have the home button, I'm going to push that 3 times. If I do not have a home button, I'm going to push the power or main button 3 times. 1, 2, 3. You're going to see that my accessibility shortcuts come up. If you only have guided access, that will come up automatically. Because I have a couple of different ones set up on my iPad, I'm going to get to choose which one I want to have accessed. I'm going to choose guided access. And now it's going to tell me that guided access is started. I can go ahead and use this app to do all of the things that I would normally do. I can draw on it, I can use it to write. But when I try to leave this app, so I can do this normal swipe to leave the app, and that is not working. So because I am in guided access, I cannot leave this app. Now, in order to get out of guided access, I'm once again going to push that home button or the power button 3 times. 1, 2, 3. It's going to ask me to enter my passcode. And once I've done that, it's going to bring me into the main guided access menu. Here, I can choose either to end guided access by that option on the upper left. I can choose to resume guided access using that upper right button. Or on the bottom, I can look at options. I'm going to go into options. Once I go into options, I can choose what is accessible to me when I am in guided access. So I can choose to allow or disallow the top button. I can choose to allow or disallow the use of the volume buttons. This can be really handy if you are allowing someone to maybe use an iPad in a quiet setting and you don't want them to accidentally or intentionally turn the volume up on an app, such as listening to a video, etc. You can turn it so the volume buttons do not work. I also can turn on or off motion, the keyboards built into apps, if the touch features work. So sometimes if maybe you have somebody watching a video and you don't want them to leave that video to go somewhere else or skip through the video, you can actually turn off the touch features, which means anything they touch on the screen will not work. And here at the bottom is how you can turn on the time limit. So this is where I can pick how long this app is going to work before it locks. So I can say that I want this to work for 1 hour, and at the end of 1 hour, guided access is going to lock the iPad. Now, this is different than when the screen times out, because when the screen times out, you can put in your normal iPad password to turn the screen back on. With this setting, if I turn the iPad at 1 hour guided access time limit, at the end of that, it is going to lock, but it will only unlock with the special guided access passcode. And that's the 00000 that I programmed. So I'm going to leave that as 1 hour, just so you can see what that looks like. And down here on the bottom, you'll also see an option that says circle areas on the screen you would like to disable. So maybe you want to hand this iPad to someone and you want them to be able to draw, but maybe you don't want them to open up another canvas. You don't want them going out into other canvases. You just want them to draw on this screen. We don't want to disable touch on the entire thing because then they wouldn't be able to pick different paintbrushes or different colors. So instead, I'm going to circle this area on the upper right. You're going to see that it now turns gray, and I can adjust that using the little circles, the little white circles. And this, again, now will mean that these areas will not work with touch. So I could touch on those spots all I want, and it's not going to work. Now, again, because it's drawing, I probably want to be a little more specific with that, just because I want them to still be able to draw on the main part of the screen. Now that I've changed my settings, I'm going to click Resume. It's going to say guided access is started. It's going to remind me that I can triple click to leave guided access. And it's also going to tell me that I have that 1 hour left. So let's try this. I can still touch here and I can draw. I can choose to adjust any of my settings. This all works well. But you notice this is gray up here on the left-hand corner. If I try drawing or typing up here, it's not going to work for me. Now, if I triple click, it's going to prompt me again for that passcode, and it is going to bring me back to this guided access menu. Once you are done with guided access for this time, all you need to do then is go ahead and click end, and you are now out of guided access. Now, the fun thing about guided access is if you go back into the menu, you will notice here that guided access is still on. Guided access is one of those fun settings that once you've set it up once in settings, you do not need to go back and do it again. It will just live in the background of your device so that in the future, when you need it, you simply can click the home button 3 times and it will either start guided access if that is your only accessibility shortcut, or you can choose it here and it will automatically go right back into guided access for you. So again, once that's set up, you simply can triple click to start it or triple click and put in your password to end it. So it's that easy. Thank you for joining us for this short video, and make sure that you like and subscribe and follow us so that you can see more assistive technology and technology tools as we release the videos. Have an awesome day.